We back. Now, today we got a very interesting video. We're going to take a trip to Springfield, Ohio. We're going to hear from some of the residents and hear what they think about what's been going on. Obviously, the city has been the center of national political debates. So we're going to hear directly from the residents on the ground, and I'm going to be reacting to some of these interviews from some, investigative journalists that went to the scene. So not wasting no time, let's get into it. Run the footage. I'll be right back.
Springfield has seen some hard times. There's a bunch of people here that live in poverty. It's kind of a Rust Belt place that used to be important. A bunch of jobs got sent overseas. A bunch of abandoned factories. A lot of people are struggling. There's drugs and crime all over. You know the story. I just want to know if somebody has an opinion.
We cannot, so sorry. We're about something else. We're about to leave. So
Okay, just 1 minute. How come there's nobody that can talk? Nobody. Okay. You guys were like standing around when I pulled up, though. Okay. There's nobody that can talk? There's nobody that can talk? There's nobody that can talk?
Shout out to the elder. Random white man pulled up on him out of nowhere. It seemed like they're coming out of church. I don't really know, but he was like, anybody that can talk? The elder was like, nobody. Nobody. Hey, yeah, get out of my face, man. Get out of my face, random white man. Let's continue.
Everybody. I saw very little of them walking around because I was told they're hiding. And I even went up and I tried to talk to them. They wouldn't come outside. They hid their faces. I showed you what happened at the church. It's very strange that all of a sudden an entire community decides to basically go underground.
All right, we back. Now, I don't know why this guy is acting so stupid, right? In the past couple weeks, you had, bomb threats coming in. You had the Ku Klux Klan passing out literature. You had Donald Trump regurgitating false information. You had schools being closed and evacuated, government buildings being shut down and evacuated. So naturally, with all this media frenzy, yeah, people are gonna stay home. They're gonna stay home. Nobody's gonna send their kids outside when they're hearing about the goddamn Ku Klux Klan, launching campaigns and shit. So yeah, they're gonna stay home, logically speaking. So, anyways, let's continue.
Sure, everybody's got an opinion.
Well, how do you feel about what's going on around here, man?
I don't like it.
What part do you not like?
I don't like them being here, if you want to know the honest to God truth. I don't think none of them should be here. But I guess that's the way old Biden and them want it. So as long as they're president, that's how it's going to be. And they're just going to keep coming, too. They ain't stopping.
All right, we back. Now, from what I can tell, Springfield, Ohio, this is Trump territory. Everybody here is stomped down Trump supporter, right? And it's ironic because this is a very impoverished area, right? A lot of abandoned buildings, a lot of, not a lot of opportunity for economic, mobility. But for whatever reason, they think some multi-millionaire from New York, who've been rich his entire life somehow can relate to the little guy. But whatever. It's funny because I recently heard Vance, the vice president, say that if they get into office, all of those, living off the government benefits, welfare, going to the, all that bullshit, they cutting that shit. They cutting that shit. But all throughout this video, you're going to hear all these folks, my benefits, my welfare, my food stamps. Nigga, your boy Trump get into office, nigga, say goodbye to them food stamps. Let's continue.
What this is called is the Cloward Piven strategy. It was formed in the 60s, man. It's called displacement. They're displacing our community. What they're doing is they dropped all these people in our community, which cranked the prices of everything up. Everything, the houses, the groceries, everything. Everything is through the roof. The prices of used cars on Marketplace, they're buying everything with cash. They're paying cash for houses. I've never been able to pay cash for a house in my life, Where
are they getting?
All right, we back. Now we got to break down this hillbilly logic over here. So this guy says that the inflation, that keep in mind, all Americans are suffering under the effects of inflation. It's not only in Springfield, Ohio, right? I feel it. You feel it. It's even around the world, right? It's something that stretches even beyond the borders of the United States. But this guy right here says the reason why inflation is happening around the world is because Haitian migrants have arrived in Springfield, Ohio to work in the factories. This is what I call it. This is hillbilly logic. And this guy right here, him and his wife, throughout the entire segment, you're going to see a whole bunch of hillbilly logic being thrown around. And honestly, it's just, I don't know. I just blame it on maybe a lack of information or what, but they're trying to scapegoat this community for something that's happening around the world, across the country, things like that. Think about it. You have cities, towns, and states where there are no recent influx of immigrants, and prices are still going up for groceries, gas, and housing. Even in the wealthier neighborhoods, they're also feeling the inflation because inflation is not something that picks and chooses where to hit. It's affecting everyone no matter where you live or how much money you make. Whether you're in a big city or the small town or the wealthy suburb, inflation has driven up the cost of everything. It's simply the state of the economy. So for this guy right here to try to say that the reason for this happening across the nation and across the world is because of Haitian immigrants in Ohio, that's just scapegoating. You're just scapegoating. You're not really trying to get to the root cause of things, right? You're looking for a scapegoat. You're looking for an easy scapegoat. To me, that's it shows a lack of intelligence, shows a lack of understanding. Anyways, let's continue.
And while they're dressed very well, how are you able to dress like that? Coming over here as running for help that we're supposedly helping them, how are you dressed like that when we, the American people, are scrapping for the next set of work boots? That's a problem. That's a serious problem. How are you able to dress like that? How are you able to dress like that? How are you able to dress like that?
Now, to me, I'm sorry, this was one of the most hilarious interactions for me, right? You can just take a look at this woman and you can detect the spirit of envy and jealousy and bitterness and resentment and spite and just, man, you got to get that hate out your heart. You know what I'm saying? You got to get that hate out your heart, man. I'm sorry, because I guess in her mind, she believes that, I guess what she watches on TV and what she hears on the news, that when the Haitians arrived in a city, that they would be arriving, in rags, wearing rags, looking like they just fresh out the slave quarters, things like that. But what they don't understand, maybe, these folks are in the Midwest, they don't really understand black folks like that probably. But it's not even just Haitians, but black folks in general. We've always had a deep pride in how we present ourselves, right? Even if we don't have much, we're going to make sure we look sharp, we look dignified. It's not about wealth. It's about your pride, your respect, your self-presentation, right? It's how we've always been. Whether you in the diaspora, in Africa, the Caribbean, we've always valued an elegant and dignified presentation. Even if you look back at our ancestors, we've always adorned ourselves with beautiful textiles and jewelry and accessories. It's just how we are. So much so that it's a running joke, right? So whenever you see a black man and you see, his hair is not done, his hairline is crooked, he don't get fresh, we automatically assume that, he got a white girl or something like that, because you're not gonna get with a black woman. You're not sharp, you're not fresh, you're not smelling good, you're not looking good. That's how we are in our cultures around the world, right? They even got a joke for a black woman who get with a white man. Oh man, she must have a dusty, dingy wig. She must be, looking goofy, right? Because you can't get with a black man looking goofy with a dusty, crooked wig. You don't get with a white man, right? It's a running joke we got in our circles, because that's how we are when it comes to our presentation. So to their surprise, maybe, the Haitians in Ohio, right? They dressing clean, they looking clean, they smelling nice. And, the white lady's mad, white girl mad. But to me, I just chalk it up to a difference in culture, right? That's how it is in black cultures around the world. It's common for families to make sure, the children are dressed well, even if you don't got a lot of money, right? I can even speak from personal experience. When my father, when he first came here, when I was young, real young, like first, second, third, fourth grade, right? My family didn't have much back at that time, but they always made sure I was sharp when I went to school, right? Make sure my shoes were clean. I always looked presentable, right? My father was always sharp. It had nothing to do with what you had, how much money you had. It's about your respect and your dignity. So when she sees Haitians dressed well, it doesn't mean they're not struggling. It don't mean they're not grinding. It doesn't mean they're not refugees. It doesn't mean they're not on protected status. It means they carry themselves with pride and elegance and dignity. No matter what your circumstances are, you should try it, right? Because you look a fool. You look a damn mess. You on the camera looking a damn mess. You know what I'm saying? So you could learn. You could learn from the Haitians. You could get a wardrobe, get styled by the Haitians. You look a damn fool. Been in the country hundreds of years, still looking a damn fool. So this woman who believes that the Haitians should be, dressed raggedy and dressed, ridiculous, that shows her level of ignorance, right? That shows her level of ignorance. She doesn't understand black culture. She doesn't understand the high value we place on our appearance. Let me tell you a story. Back in 2017, I almost died from a pulmonary embolism. That's a blood clot in your pulmonary artery, right? I called my mother because I was suffering massive chest pains for like going on 2-3 days. I was like, Ma, we got to get down to the hospital ASAP, right? Both my parents are in the medical field, so I was like, you got to come down with me because I'm feeling crazy. Like I can't even, like I feel like I don't know what's going on, right? My mother told me, and I keep in mind, this is a deadly thing, a blood clot in your pulmonary artery. You could have a fucking heart attack, die. My mother told me, all right, bet. I'm about to come get you. Get in the shower right now. Make sure, you smell good. Lotion up your feet. Make sure you got clean clothes on, clean drawers, and I'm going to come get you. I'm in the shower. I'm fucking dying. But that shows the value that we place on our appearance. We're not going to show up to the hospital looking raggedy. We got to show, even if we showing up to the ER, we got to be fresh. And I guarantee if I was going to do an interview that was going to get, thousands of views or millions of views, I would make sure I'd be fresh. She obviously, in white culture, they don't care about their appearance like that, because look how she came on the camera. Came on the camera looking like a damn dope feed. Anyway, let's continue.
But a lot of what's happening in this city, when people bring up points, a lot of it is really just coming from a hatred point of view. And you keep hearing it from people who are poor, been on welfare, and they don't want to stand in the same line with other people that need the same things that they do.
What do you say to the people that are saying they're getting evicted from their homes, the landlords are evicting them, and they're now homeless, and they're giving the homes to the Haitians?
So I would need
my people. I'm
Okay.
Haitian. I'm Haitian.
Okay.
They're giving the homes to the Haitians, and they're saying that they're now homeless, and the Haitians got the $3,000 voucher, and they're paying the rent, and they have nowhere to stay. What do you say?
So I say, show me the Carfax. You saying you got evicted because of a Haitian got this, and that, but where's the facts at?
Okay.
Nobody's showing any evidence that that's what happened to them. You get what I'm saying? People keep saying things, but you got evicted because of somebody else? Explain that to me. Nobody can explain that to me. What does that look like?
Now, I love this sister, man. I love this sister. I see, the right-wing conservative Republicans trying to play divide and conquer, I got love for the sister. She ain't fall for that. Now, keep in mind, though, this sister right here, she's successful, right? I think she said she worked, she a high school teacher. She bought her first house at 23 years old. I remember she said that in the interview. So she has no reason to feel any type of way towards the Haitians. She's successful, establishing herself, doing her thing. So she got no reason to be jealous or envious, right? Like I said, man, them hillbillies be mad. Them hillbillies. How can you dress like that? How you dress so nice? You see, our sister though, she not mad. She got love for our people. Shout out to this sister, man. Got love for you, sis, for real. And I think it comes down to the fact that she's not battling for scraps at the bottom, right? She not fighting for scraps at the bottom. She not doing that, right? So she got no reason to feel envious or resentful, right? She don't got no reason. But when you fighting for scraps, man, that jealousy, man, you get mad for somebody dressing nice and shit like that. That shit crazy. Let's continue.
It's like they, all of a sudden, right before they came, all the houses in the neighborhood that were not livable became livable all of a sudden. They all got fixed real fast. And then all of a sudden they all came, now they all live in all them houses everywhere. Seems like they're trying to make the people of Springfield leave and give the city to the Haitians. That's what it seems like to me. Seems like they're trying to run everybody out and make this a little Haiti town.
Now, we got this gentleman right here, right? He said that before the Haitians arrived, there was a lot of, abandoned buildings and dilapidated houses. And then when the Haitians began to arrive, suddenly those buildings are now being renovated and made available, right? But instead of seeing this as a positive sign of growth, obviously, as you can tell, he's angry about it, right? He's mad about it, right? And before earlier in the video, he said, man, I wish the Haitians were not here. I wish they weren't here at all. So obviously, this, he's mad, right? But let's think about it for a second. This is somebody who I guarantee he's voting for Trump, guarantee, right? Guarantees a staunch Republican, right? Well, one of the core principles of Republican ideology is capitalism, right? The idea of the free market, supply and demand, entrepreneurship, blah, 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 say blah, right? Seizing opportunities, not sitting on the sidelines and complaining when someone else does it, right? When the market saw an opportunity in these abandoned buildings and these abandoned houses, capitalists, most likely Republicans, right, moved in, made investments, renovated the properties and made them available. This is the free market working at its best, right? This is what y'all love. Y'all Republicans, right? Y'all love this. Y'all capitalists, right? Y'all love this. Your boy Donald Trump, oh, he loves it, I guarantee. But instead of being a true Republican, right? A true Republican and embracing capitalism in the free market, he's getting emotional. He's getting mad. He's blaming the Haitians for something that actually benefits the community as a whole. Because let's be real, before the Haitians came, he said these buildings were just sitting around, they were falling apart, they were abandoned, and you couldn't even live inside of them. So if the community was so invested in keeping the neighborhood the way it was, why didn't they step up and make these renovations themselves? Why didn't the so-called, Trump supporting capitalists and Republicans in the community make these investments? The truth is, there was no activity happening until the Haitians arrived. And now that you see some uptick in movement and some improvement, now everybody's mad. Now you mad, right? Now you mad. Now you mad at the abandoned buildings that become livable houses. And for me, that's my contradiction. That's where the contradiction lies with these so-called right-wing Republican conservatives, right? Because this guy right here, guarantee, he's a supporter of Trump, who is one of the biggest capitalists in America. Trump's entire career has been built on finding opportunities, making deals, improving properties, things like that, right? But now when it happens in front of his face, now he's mad. What's funny is he's basically calling for socialism. He really should vote for Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, because you're not a true Republican. You're not a real capitalist, bro. You're not a real stomp down conservative like you claim. A lot of y'all not really stomp down conservatives. Y'all talk about food stamps and socialism and welfare too damn much. And also towards the end, he said something like, oh, they want to make this into a little Haiti town or whatever like that. You know, funny thing is, bro, you don't really know that, you know, going back to the 1800s, you had little neighborhoods and towns and districts that were named after Haiti back in the 19th century, right? Like, for example, take a look up on the screen. In North Carolina, you had a Haiti district. I believe it's still called, I think it's still called it still to this day, right? You had Haiti district, an historic African-American community that is now part of the city of Durham, North Carolina, right? Take a look up on the screen. The neighborhood continued to develop during the late 19th and early 20th centuries through years of racial segregation imposed by white politicians in the state legislature following the Reconstruction era in the South. With black-owned businesses and services, a library, a hotel, a theater, and a hospital, the community became self-sufficient. It declined in the late 20th century. During the 1880s, the neighborhood increased in population and mostly black-run businesses were established. The Haiti district, named after Haiti, the first independent black republic in the Western Hemisphere, eventually included a variety of businesses, schools, a library, theater, hotel, Lincoln Hospital, and other services, making it quite self-sufficient. All classes live within Haiti, and the black-owned businesses employed numerous residents. The community of African-American majority population flourished from the 1880s through the 1940s. Urban renewal pushed out African-American residents when a 1950s project took down buildings on more than 200 acres in the heart of Haiti's business district, right? So these Midwest hillbillies talking about, oh man, they driving us out. What did you do to the black community in America all throughout the 19th century, 20th century? You drove them out. Sometimes you came up guns blazing and violently driven them out, right? So, bro, you talking about they trying to turn it into a Haiti town. There was already Haiti towns and cities and districts in the United States going back to the 1800s, because our brothers over here understood that even though we are separated by borders, we had a common struggle, right? We had a common struggle. So, like I said, man, let's continue. Take a look up on the screen. You also had in Missouri, right, a city called Haiti, right? Haiti was platted in 1894 when the railroad was extended to that point. According to one tradition, the name honors Dr. G. Hayes, an original owner of the site. It is also claimed the name is derived from the country of Haiti, the name which was commonly spelled as Haiti prior to the 20th century, right? Yeah, so Haiti was actually spelled with a Y, back in the days of Christophe and Dessalines and things like that. A post office called Haiti has been in operation since 1895. So, yeah, man, shout out to the good brothers, man, We already had Haiti towns and cities and districts. Man, our impact stretches wide and far, man. These hillbillies don't understand. Crack open a fucking history book, hillbilly. Anyway, let's continue.
That is one of my neighbors. He lives about 6 houses down. Just rode by in a $110,000 Lexus truck. If you hang out long enough, you'll see him right back by.
Why does a Haitian have a $110,000 car?
Your guess is as good as mine, because I've worked all of my working age years, and I drive a Ford F-150. To watch this guy ride past my house 10, 12 times a day in a brand spanking new Lexus SUV. How is that possible? Integrate into the same neighborhood that I worked my entire life to get into. I don't understand it.
Why?
Oh, yeah, here's this guy right here in his brand new Lexus.
There he is,
there
right
he
there.
is, right there.
That guy right there, that's a
Look at that
Haitian
vehicle.
Yeah, that's an immigrant.
That's an immigrant with a $100,000 Lexus.
Yeah.
Right down the street, and we see him pass by 6-7 times a day.
Now, this guy right here, the husband of the lady who was, so jealous and angry and bitter. Remember the lady that was like, how are you dressed like that? So this is apparently, I believe this is her husband, right? So the same way his wife was jealous and envious of the elegantly dressed, Haitian women, this guy right here, he's bitter and jealous of seeing a black man coming down the street in a clean Lexus. God damn. Now, first things first, let's clear up some misunderstandings, right? Every Haitian you see coming to Ohio is not somebody that is fresh off the boat, so to speak, right? Some of them have already lived in the United States for years in places like, Florida, Boston, New York. Some of them already built their lives in the United States, got citizenship, saved money, established themselves. So when he sees a Haitian man driving a nice car, he's assuming this must be a refugee, right? When in fact, this might be somebody who's already been in America, already doing well for themselves before coming to Ohio. He's not seeing the full picture, right? You jump into conclusions, bro. There are Haitians in Ohio that were living in, Florida and other places with a higher cost of living that came to Ohio because they heard that there was a community here and it was more affordable here, right? They didn't come fresh off the boat, through the Biden program or the whatever program. No, some of them already been here, right? For example, I know there's a businessman down there that owns a restaurant. He's not a refugee fresh off the boat. He's somebody that's been in the United States and came to Ohio and invested in the area, right? Invested his own capital into the area. But if this guy seen that, oh man, he would pop a blood vessel. Oh my God, Haitian immigrants owning businesses. He would lose his mind. But one thing I want to talk about is the jealousy and envy and hatred coming from this couple, right? This husband and this wife. These feelings that he has, these sentiments that he's harboring, to me, it has nothing to do with immigration. If you ask me, this is something deeper here, right? This is something that's been happening for a very long time, man. When you see this type of reaction to, black folks dressing nice, black folks driving nice cars, and you see all this anger and bitterness, this to me is a long-standing American tradition, right? When you see white men get angry when they see a prosperous black man doing well, it's not new, right? This goes back to the Reconstruction era after the Civil War, right? When black men started to hold political office, black men started to own land, black men started to have businesses. A lot of white men were enraged at the sight, right? And that's where you get things like the Ku Klux Klan. That's where you get organizations like that, whose entire purpose was to tear down and destroy the progress that black folks at that time were making, right? And that was born out of the jealousy, hatred, and bitterness in their hearts. And when you examine and study who are the main victims and targets of organizations like the Ku Klux Klan and the White League and things like that, it was prosperous and successful black men. That's who they were attacking. That's who they were murdering. That's a fact. Men who are doing well, owning property, gaining influence in their communities. And when I listen to this man and his wife, I see the same kind of resentment, right? This man is not angry because of the car the Haitian man is driving. He's angry because he sees a black man who is successful, apparently, who doesn't fit the stereotype of being down on his luck, struggling, or in need of help. You could even hear it when he says, oh man, this man, he drives in front of my house 10, 15 times a day in the Lexus. All I got is a Ford F-150. Imagine how the white men back, in Reconstruction felt when black men were becoming senators. They started rallying their troops and killing us, bro. So to me, these type of feelings and sentiments, it's not about immigration at all. Because if it was about immigration, then how do you explain these same exact sentiments from back in the 1860s and the 70s? Listen, these sentiments have always been here. When they see black success, when they see black power, black wealth, black status, it attracts the same bitterness from certain demographics. And we're just seeing it. We're just seeing it again, man. It's really sad, man, because instead of focusing on his own life, right, this guy chooses to fixate on what the Haitian man is driving. Come on, bro. Listen, man, you're a Republican, right? I see if you look in the video, he got a Trump sign on his porch, right? So listen, pick yourself up by your bootstraps and you too can have a Lexus truck one day too, my friend. Let's continue.
A lot of people tell me that they have a lot of money.
I haven't. I know one thing I see big is like if I do go to Wally World or Kroger's, they're sending money home. Which is, if they're making money, they're spending money here, that's good for our economy. But if they're making money here and sending it away, it's not good for us.
Now, this guy right here sitting in his truck, he says that Haitians who take their money that they probably, grinded for, probably worked 2-3 jobs for, when they take a portion of their money and send it back home, he said that is not good for the local economy, right? Now, to me, this is a non-factor and a non-issue because the tiny amount of money being sent home by, a Haitian factory worker, a little fraction of their paycheck, it's a drop in the ocean, right? Compared to the massive wealth that's been extracted from black nations around the world, extracted from these so-called third world nations that have migrants coming into the United States looking for a better life. When you examine the wealth that's extracted from the United States and their allies' imperial endeavors compared to the tiny remittance sent back by, somebody working a little job, taking a little fraction of their paycheck, sending it back home to their mama, you cannot compare the two. When you examine nations that have been drained of their resources, and when you examine who's responsible for that, who is that? The multinational corporations, backed by their governments and their militaries, coming in and taking the oil and the minerals and the diamonds and the gold and everything else, all to feed the comfort and wealth of the American citizen, of the French citizen, of the British citizen, etc., etc. So to me, I think it's ridiculous, the comparison, right? You're trying to compare a Haitian worker in the United States grinding 2-3 jobs, sending their little paycheck, probably $100, $200 back home to their mama or their girlfriend or whatever, to maybe build a house or send somebody to school. Is that really extracting wealth from the U.S. economy? No, it's not. That money's not going to a foreign multinational or a foreign government in somebody's state treasury. No, it's going directly to families that have been devastated by the economic exploitation and the imperial exploits of the colonial nations. Now, I'm going to assume this guy is also a Trump supporter, right? So, I'm going to speak to him in a language that he can understand, right? The resources from these so-called third world shitholes is what fuels your economies, right? And other Western nations. And it's been fueling them for centuries. Everything from the oil that powers the factories to the minerals that go into the technology. Much of it comes from places overseas, from the third world shithole countries. Yes, indeed. Multinational corporations, they extract trillions of dollars. And you over here worried about, Jean Aubert or, Pierre Saint-Jean, going to the damn, check cashing place and sending, $75 back to his mama, after work on Tuesday. You're a clown. You're a clown, you're a goofy, and you're a clown. Let's continue.
Okay, so they're here to fill jobs that
white people are too lazy to fill.
But at the same time,
Okay?
there's
They won't show up for work. Get your asses up and go to work. Get your asses up and go to work, and then they won't have to come here and do your job, people.
Hey, I'm interviewing people about all the stuff. Can I talk to you? No? Okay. You don't have an opinion? All right. Just tried to interview him. Wouldn't talk to me.
Our city commission and our mayor, they're not seeing it because they live on the north side. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
the north is that way. That's the nice side.
Okay.
All right. All the Haitians live on the south.
Okay, the Haitians live this way.
And yet that way, south and west. Okay.
Oh, so this way, that way.
Yep. And I live on the north side too. But
so you want some? Okay. Oh,
I bought my house when I was 23. I was on my. But.
Oh, was the population at one point in Springfield dwindling? Like, because I see a lot of I see a lot of abandoned homes.
Not necessarily dwindling, but like I went to Wittenberg. I didn't even know what a Springfield was until I went to school here.
Got it.
Young people don't stay here because there's no jobs anyways. That's why when they're taking all our jobs, there ain't no jobs here. Everybody works in Bellefountain, Xenia, factories out there.
Are any of your peoples, your friends, anybody from the community, are any of them upset about the Haitians being here? Honestly speaking.
No, I got a buddy that lives right across the street from him, and he said they're cool. They keep an eye on each other's house, and they said they was cool. I ain't never talked to none. First, I just see them. They getting jobs. They're they're working. I just take it like they're taking advantage of the opportunity, just like anybody else should.
Now, I will say it's not all hate, right? Everybody don't got something negative to say. I can admit that, right? Now let's continue.
Yeah, for sure. It's a lot of prejudice stuff going around.
Prejudice still. Where's the prejudice area at?
It's all over.
Is it in this area? Is there prejudice in this area, or is it down back north?
It's mostly just everywhere. It's all spread out here in Springfield. I knew the history of Springfield back then. It was a sundown town and all kinds of other stuff here. So it runs deep here.
Okay.
As a white man, I see it on the daily with my older family members and stuff like that. It's not what it's all made out to be on the news and all that like that. They having food trucks coming down and opening up businesses. All kinds
do you have a problem with the Haitians moving in?
Hell no. Right? I used to work out at Yamada, making steering parts and stuff, and that's when they first started arriving here. Right. And my first friend out there was a Haitian. He was a Haitian rapper or whatever. He was the kindest, down-to-heart dude I ever met.
What's your name?
Zachary Baker.
Zach.
Yes,
man, Zach. So would you date a Haitian girl?
Oh yeah. They fine.
Just making sure, Zach. I don't want you to trick me.
Hell no.
All right. I don't want you tricking me, man.
But I've been in a relationship for almost 8 years now, so I can do that.
Okay. You've been in a relationship for 8 years. You think he's Haitian, Nancy? Can I ask him? Sure. Haitian? Yeah.
Haïtien là, dans Springfield là, c'est New York nous sorti, c'est Haïtien bien sûr.
So, bonsoir, bien bonjour, m'pa konnen. Yo, bagay mwen yo sur internet mwen yo. So m'pa kwe, t'a pon ti jan bizan pile men. Kwa Haïtien t'a mangé, comment Jean Blodé a dit ça, chien. So, moi le gaz men. Et puis Haïtien travaille ici tout men. Surtout dans Springfield. But let me take this Springfield t'a enragé men.
All right, we back. Now I'm going to translate for some of y'all who may not understand what the brother's saying right here. he basically said, you know, the things I've been seeing on the internet, that's some bullshit. You know, that's some bullshit. You know, we over eating cats and dogs. He said Haitians come over here to work, you know, make a living, bro. We're not over here trying to eat your motherfucking golden retriever. That's basically what he said. You think that shit is whack? You think y'all some clowns for that shit, and that shit is not cool. That shit is not cool. Y'all some goofies. That's basically what the brother tried to express.
Comme politique, ouais, j'aime zonan, moun yo ka di sa ou vle, ouais, j'aime zonan, mais yo haïtien trop bon moun men, haïtien vin travail, haïtien vin chercher l'argent.
Parce que yo dit comme ça, haïtien yon mette blanc yo. Et c'est ça yo dit, parce que haïtien c'est moun qui travaille dit. En pile,
yeah.
Right?
Depuis haïtien pas travail men li malade.
Yeah, on dit ça about.
Malade. Depuis haïtien pas travail li malade, il get tout problème parce que de l'argent nouye.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna try to translate some more. He basically said, due to the fact that it's politics, people can say whatever they want. People gonna do whatever they want. And he basically reiterated the fact that, you know, we just here to work, man. We just here to work. And when it comes to, you know, when Haitians are not being productive or not working, you know, we get depressed. We get, you know, it's not good for our mental health. We don't like that. That's basically what he said. We just here to work, man. Our focus is just establishing ourselves. We're not over here, you know, eating your damn cats and dogs, man. We just trying to grind, man.
Let's ask him, are they mistreating us in Springfield, Ohio? Are they treating us bad?
C'est Springfield. Catch your ass, maltraité haïtien.
Bon, on peut dire maltraité haïtien, non, mais comme c'est, imagine que vous avez un gros bagage moi vivre,
okay.
Malaché dans Walmart,
okay.
But peut-être madame moi just manger bien aussi faut le gars dit,
okay.
Kounya au bien en même, kounya moi mal reprend bien encore, moi même seulement bail là puis dit l'aime bail dit pas moi,
okay.
So yo prend bien en même, so ay bail nous commence à subir, par exemple m'obligé move. Oui. M'obligé mouvement pour me quitter Ohio, mais parce que ça me donne non.
Oh, pas peut-être là,
m'obligé la guéper, mais parce que vous menacez, parce que ça me donne.
Now, in this section, the brother said that because the good brother Queens Flip had asked him, are they mistreating our people down here? And he said that recently, you know, like yesterday, he went to go to Walmart. He sent his girl to Walmart to go, you know, pick up some beer, and they refused to sell her the beer. Say you need an ID. So when he went up there to go get the beer himself, and he showed his ID, they simply refused to sell him the beer, right? Even though he had his ID and everything, they just said, like, we're not going to sell you the product. We're not going to sell you the merchandise, right? So, you know, they're refusing to, you know, they refuse to do business with him. So that's something that he began to, you know, he began to notice ever since this whole media frenzy began to take place. And he said that he's actually planning his departure from Ohio, even though he actually just arrived. He's a recent arrival, probably less than a year, but he said he's going to move. Like, he's out. He's like, bro, like, I'm not over here trying to stress myself out. Like, I'm just over here trying to, you know, make a living, provide for me and my girl. I'm not going to be dealing with this bullshit, you know. Won't even sell me a beer. Man, I'm out, you know. So he said that he's planning to leave the city. Let's continue.
And down there is another Haitian restaurant.
Yeah. Thank you. What's your name?
Louis.
Louis?
Yeah.
All right, man. Nice to meet you, Louis.
All right, Dansky.
Yeah, bro.
All right.
Yeah.
Be good. Thank you, Messi.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
We out here in Ohio, Springfield, Ohio. I'm getting ready to order some food. I definitely want some food. Gotta want some food. And I heard this is the best. I heard this is the best restaurant here, and I'm ordering. Let's get it. Show love, JR. Show love. Show love.
We back. Now, this is actually the restaurant I was talking about earlier. But yeah, man, you know, we already got, you know, enterprises popping up, you know, storefronts, businesses. Oh, man, the white supremacists definitely going to be mad, you know. Oh, man, them Klansmen definitely going to be mad. But anyways, shout out to Queens Flip. Shout out to the good brother Queens Flip, you know, for the investigative journalism. You know, I'm going to promote my brother. I'm not going to promote the channel with a white man, but I'm going to promote my brother Queens Flip. You know, go subscribe to Queens Flip. Yeah, home team for sure. But yeah, man, just wanted to, you know, react to some of the on-site interviews and give my thoughts on the situation, examine what I, you know, from my point of view, right? So I'm not going to keep it too long, man. It's your boy Nefercard. That's Celine back in the building. Yes, indeed. Cash app in the description. Support the channel, man. Support the album, too. Peace.
Yeah, I'm focused on fortification. I'm trying to step out of the matrix. I'm finna be all in your playlist. The haters gon' look and amaze me. I'm taking my time and I'm patient. They tell me I make it look easy. I'm going and they never gon' reach me. I cut off my phone, I'm back on my zone, yeah. I'm back on my own, the king of my castle and forging my own path. I'm back on the dawn, I know they be watching it lately, I'm pressing the gas. These niggas be clones, they selling they soul for currency. I be like, man, just leave me alone. Lil' mama, she look like a dancer. I'm back in my zone, I got hundreds and fifties, they treat me just like I'm a master. I'm back in the city, I'm feeling imperial, plotting on power expansion. I can't show no love, I got pain in my heart, but I hide it when I'm on the camera. I'm young and I'm raising the standard, and now I don't be doing no features. These niggas be talking about killing and robbing, I'm steady relaxing leisure. The spirit of kings, we never gon' die, we taking it back with the leaders. They came and invaded, the enemy raided and put all that shit in museums. Real talk, and I still can't believe it. I pull up and shine on them, I pull up and ride on them, I pull up and flex with the team, you know we gon' style on them. I'm cold like 7 degrees whenever I rhyme on them. This shit like COINTELPRO, my nigga they spine on us. Fuck how they feeling, I'm bossed up. Enemy finna get tossed up. Come on the block and then buy it up. Back in the biz, I'm riding up. I'm ready for war and they hiding out. I told the creator I'm riding out. They up in the crib and they popping out. I'm close to the limit, I've been in route. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Weight on my shoulders, it feel like a boulder. Ghost written by the kings, I decoded like high priest. That a foul unrooted. I'ma get it till they tell me it's over. I'ma get it till I'm way up and noted. Meditated so I'm closer to God. Pretty soon we gon' be on the top. Yeah, I'm focused on fortification. I'm trying to step out of the matrix. I'm finna be all in your playlist. The haters gon' look and amaze me. I'm taking my time and I'm patient. They tell me I make it look easy. I'm going and they never gon' reach me.